Chapter 6.
Oh dear, it's no good. I simply can't sleep tonight. I think I might have dropped off for a bit. Then I dreamed that I was awake. It's not good being an insomniac when I also happen to be an agnostic and slightly dyslexic, because I stay awake all night wondering if there's a dog in the world. I know. I'll do some reading. Royal Scribe! Royal Scribe!
Yes, Your Majesty?
Can you read as well as write?
Oh, yes, I can. My parents sent me private.
Age Chaim, perhaps?
No, they haven't got planning yet.
Right, then choose any random page from the Royal Diary.
Oh, yes, I saw this one on YouTube. Darren Brown did it. It's brilliant.
You're a strange one. Now just start reading to me.
Very well, sire. And it came to pass that the king's life was saved because of the actions of Mordecai. The guards were dealt with, and sorry to interrupt, but I can see you only had a little man of no importance speaking to you, whilst I have vital matters of state to discuss.
Hold on. For future reference, it's Your Highness to you. And actually, your timing is perfect. I have a question for you.
Ask away, sir.
What should I do to someone who I want to honor?
Sometimes, my lord, you're too kind. Let me see. What would I like? I know. Let the royal apparel be brought, which the king himself usually wears. Especially that Armani. That should fit just right. Also, let your man ride your royal horse through the city.
That's great. I love the idea.
And wearing the royal crown, perhaps, which is usually set upon His Majesty's head, let him be king for a day. Let the king's most noble princes all herald the man whom the king honours and proclaim before him his own greatness.
Perfect. This is perfect. I'll forget this. Let it be done.
Yes.
To Mordecai.
No.
Haman, you're in charge. Give the honor to Mordecai exactly as you suggested.
What?
Where are my teeth? It's all right. You'll stay away tonight.
There's enough whiskey, it's all sterile. Chapter 7. Esther's second banquet.
Well, I must say, my sweet, you've really done yourself proud. What a lovely meal. We're going to have to face each other in shawlneck shots. That new young chef in the palace kitchen, Antonius Page, is coming along.
Well, I appointed him, so as usual, you'll have me to thank for it. I tell you, they've completely put my nose out of joint. Not that I'm appreciated.
Not true, Haman, not true at all. Everyone appreciated the way you honored Mordecai the other day. As usual, you organize things beautifully.
Well, it won't be long before I have my revenge on that Mordecai and all those Jews. Now, I must take leave of you all. I've just received word that my latest piece of construction has been completed, and I must go and inspect it. Ha ha ha.
And before you go, I have an announcement, my little old.
Of course. Are you inviting us to another banquet like you did last time?
No, my little highness, big highness. It's a little more serious, I'm afraid.
I can tell. There are no silly jokes in this scene. Go ahead.
Is my loving husband and gracious king well? The Mordecai of whom you speak will shortly be put to death. Furthermore, do you realize that my entire family is to be wiped
Unbelievable. Whatever that means. I had no idea, although I should have seen that one coming. We have chicken soup on a Friday night. We suddenly have an extraordinary number of crockery sets all over. And last year's New Year's Eve, you ordered Chinese takeaway. But who is it that's responsible for these imminent deaths?
It's him! Your Highness, he convinced you that all the Jews were a threat to you, and it simply isn't true.
Oh, come on. Big mistake. Big mistake. Let's face it, if it comes down between me choosing between my loyal wife and you, she wins every time. Come on, she's a babe.
Well, we can't argue with that.
He's been so jealous of Mordecai that he's even had special gallows built for my uncle's death.
That's terrible. Obviously, I can't let that happen. My trusty advisor, what should I do?
Well, if the new construction doesn't get used, then we get accused of all sorts of mismanagement of public funds. Oh, the paperwork is such a nightmare. Furthermore, you don't want an ex-prime minister with questionable morals still around. Trust me, that'll lead to all sorts of public inquiries which will drag on for years.
So, we need to use the gallows. And Haman has to go. There's only one thing for it. We'll use the gallows for Haman. Well, I figured that out all by myself. Now you know why they made me chief king. Right, then, all sorted.
Hey, hang on.
Precisely.
Woe is me! My husband, Haman, and all her sons have been punished by being sentenced to death on the very gallows that I suggested building. Oh, the irony!
I still maintain I wasn't all that bad, you know. Just a little misunderstood. I have absolutely no doubt that in years to come, people will be cheering when they hear the name Haman!
Thank heavens, that arrogant Prime Minister Haman is no more.
I know, it's so cool. It's so radical. I mean, all that bowing. I mean, I'm booked into the chiropractor for the next month. It's just ridiculous.
Have you heard who the new Prime Minister is? It's Esther's Uncle Mordecai. He was honoured recently.
Well, hey, at least we didn't end up with a coalition.
Thank you for all that, Your Highness, but what of the royal proclamation that all of my people can be freely attacked? Come on, I'll say it again. But what of the royal proclamation that all of my people can be freely attacked?
Don't worry, my dearest Esther. I've got a cunning plan. You don't need to be chief rabbi. I mean, you don't get to be made king without a little bit of sinkle, you know?
And so, by royal command, the Jews were legally empowered to fight back and defend themselves if anyone dared to harm them on the 13th of Adar.
Well, I guess that means there's no point in attacking anyone anymore, is there?
Yeah, I know. It's so cool. I mean, it looks like, you know, that Radical 13th will be another quiet night in. Hey, you fancy getting a pizza? I've got a voucher.
Chapter 9! Sorry, a bit slower than that. Chapter 9!
Oh, Uncle, I'm so pleased. We've reached the 14th of Adar and our people are safe. They're actually celebrating. Maybe we should do this every year.
Taka Esther, every year we should mark the occasion by giving some Seudah and celebrating with our simcha meal. We should also exchange gifts, food with our friends. In fact, we're Jews. Anything that involves eating would be good, no?
And everyone likes a good party. If not, come back here and talk to you. And everyone likes Oscar parody. If nothing else, it's a great excuse for totally ignoring health and safety and setting up a fancy castle.
And so, with the establishment of the festival, we moveth on to chapter 10, in which, you'll be pleased to hear, we concludeth this tale. I'm so pleased I've finally resigned as Royal Scribe to concentrate on my own work. I reckon these recent events should make for a jolly good read. I'm nearly done chronicling the whole story. I'm just going to add in the final chapter in which Persia flourishes under Mordecai as Prime Minister. With a neat ending, I think I could be looking at a bestseller. Maybe something that people will read again and again and again.
Yes, but it's the live adaptations you want to be careful about. They're normally rubbish.
And so, good friends, we've reached the end of our performance. We bestow upon you much gratitude for your time and indulgence, and particularly to those of you who stayed awake. And with that, we take leave of your absence and bid one and all a very fine and festive Purim.
Thank you for that applause, but actually there are two other people who you should be applauding. First of all is the scriptwriter. We have had so much fun rehearsing that. Yeah, we did rehearse it. We had so much fun rehearsing it because the script was fantastic. And of course the scriptwriter is the one and only Simon Lipwich. You can say to your dad our great thanks and warmest thanks because it was fantastic. Unfortunately, he's at Bar Mitzvah tonight, so isn't here. And the other person who has been a huge help to us is Tina. Where's Tina? Oh, there she is, who helped us with those fantastic costumes. Again, we couldn't have done it without her.